Terrance's extension for like my
No,
crowd.
1,000,000%. We'll change that to all, change the background for that. But we got Don Dropper in the building.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Hold on. We ain't seeing you in a minute. Our LA brother, the compadre, the
Don
Sinatra of
Dropper.
today.
Don, what
Flea's
up,
in the
nigga?
building, Dom.
Oh man, where's he at? He's in the cut.
Listen,
Yeah,
it's
chill.
Family Friday. You gotta listen. And he's single. Remember, he's like you. He's single. I just mind my business. I'm humble and grateful that he showed up because I needed to vent. What did you feel when you first heard the reaction to Karl Anthony Towns joining the Nueva York Knicks?
Well, the first thing I thought, because I heard it when I was in the middle of club practice. One of the kids is a Knicks fan. I think his parents from New York, and he was like, "We traded for Cat," and I thought it was fake because you know how many times we had talked about on the Four Sportsmen and All Ball TV, Cat coming to the Knicks for Randall. Like it's crazy how that was spoken into existence by none other than Mr. Ball himself.
You didn't even Dom. We were just on 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago. Ryan,
Crazy.
you hate Hammer Time. He's an old school hater, right? Hammer Time was on there with us. He was shooting the praises. He is banned. Flea, I already banned him. Text him the text messages. Suspended from All Ball TV for a month. A month. You're not coming back on here to put into fruition trades like this and give me a heart attack. I'm trying to watch a movie with my family. Anyway, I'm sorry, Dom. So you were in club practice and one of your kids is a Knicks fan.
Yeah, I mean, here's what my first thoughts were. Knicks don't have Isaiah Hartenstein anymore. Mitchell Robinson's going to miss significant time, right? So that hole at center was there. Because other than that, you just have Precious Achiuwa. So they're getting a big. And I also think the Knicks are thinking of when everyone's healthy, Randall is not great next to Robinson in terms of spacing. You know, his shooting is very iffy. And we remember in that Cavs series, or was it, I'm sorry, the Heat series and the Cavs series from 2 years ago,
yes,
that they were really leaving Randall open. They were really trying to take advantage of the fact that you have two non-shooters on the floor. Now, when you're going to be healthy, it's going to be Mitchell Robinson, Cat, which gives you a second star caliber player. I know he has his flaws, but second star caliber player.
He is.
And then you have Mikal Bridges, OG, and Brunson. I mean, that to me is one of the best starting lineups in the league. Then you got Deuce McBride, Josh Hart coming off the bench. You do lose DiVincenzo, who had a spectacular postseason and a first-round pick. But the Knicks are all in, man. And I'm not huge on Cat. Like, to me, I don't feel any differently about the Knicks' title chances now, maybe marginally, than I did before I woke up today. Because what I think is this. I think the Knicks have the best chance to beat Boston. I still think the Knicks can beat Boston. But you know I'm sticking to my take about a small guard leading the team to a championship. So I'm sticking with that I don't think the Knicks are going to win. But I would love if Brunson proved me wrong. To be honest, if I had my way this season, the Knicks would win the championship.
Right.
Because I like the fans. I think you deserve it. It's the least like I don't mind if I don't know any Jalen Brunson stands. I just know Knicks fans that love him. You know what I mean? So like we don't have to hear from the hive trying to knock down any all-time greats if Brunson wins. And plus, it adds to a very unique category of small guards that have won the championship as the best player, which is Isaiah Thomas and Steph. But Steph was the clear-cut. We've talked about this so many times. The clear-cut best scorer, which is what Brunson's going to be asked to do all season long. Whereas Isaiah, they won by committee in terms of the points, even though he was the clear-cut guy. So overall, I think you made out pretty well with this. Of course, I think Cat is going to get ripped by New York fans when he's settling for jumpers, being super soft. And I think people are underestimating that part of the trade for Minnesota. I know they tried to save money with this trade, but I genuinely think that next to Gobert, they wanted somebody a little bit more rugged, a little bit tougher. I think Randall, I think people sleep on like the time my Twitter timeline is all saying you guys completely fleeced them. Minnesota's offense is going to be nasty. Their spacing is going to be bad. And the spacing concerns are valid. But I think that Julius Randle, he does offer a level of physicality that Karl Anthony Towns tries to do, but he just flails and he plays off of 1 foot all the time when he puts the ball on the floor. Whereas Randle, to me, he's a pit bull, you know what I mean? And he does have his getting carried away offensively. And I think Cat's a good passer, but I don't think he catches the ball in dangerous enough areas to garner double teams. Randle, I think, is an improved passer, but I think the physicality level is something that Minnesota was going for, but their offense is not. It's going to be a little shaky. I'm not as low on Randle as a lot of the timeline, but I think you guys ended up with a win with this trade. However, DiVincenzo on the bench, I think it's going to be a great move. So I think shocking, if anything, shocking. But dude, this is the best Knicks team of the 21st century. I am adamant about it. Like, this is the best Knicks team of the 21st century. You really have a title chance, and that's special in New York. And yeah, as one of the commenters saying, now it's more minutes for Naz Reid, who is a starting caliber player in the NBA. So
you think he gets? You think Nas gets more minutes?
Hell yeah. I think
Remember, Cat was hurt last year, Flea.
I absolutely think that this is going to be more of a audition for Nas to get a bigger role. Because me personally, I don't know if they go forward with Julius Randle in the future. Like, they're going to have to pay him now. So
what's his contract situation again, Flea? Because I know Cat, part of the reason why they trade him is because he's on the books for a couple more years and it's a fat contract.
Right. And part of me
4 more years.
Part of me thinks this is a salary dump because getting rid of Cat and now not having to pay Julius if you don't want to, because this is a contract year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, for Julius Randle.
For Julius Randle,
absolutely.
So yeah, they may not even keep him after this year, depending on how it goes, and they have that flexibility now.
Right. So, I think both teams are in pretty good position, going forward. We gonna have to see. If my biggest concern is Cat buying in to what we do.
So that's this season, Karl Anthony Towns is making $49 million. Next year will be 53. The year after, 57. He has a player option for $61 million. After that, we would have to imagine, like I mentioned earlier, Julius Randle is getting somewhere near that, right? Whether it's $45 million a year, $50 million a year, $60 million a year, he's due for that, especially with the deal taking less money last time and being able to re-up now. It'll be pretty interesting to see if they do sign him during the season, because it is, to your point, Flea, I don't see how that will happen. Going back to Dom's point with Karl Anthony Towns playing better alongside Mitchell Robinson, yeah. I forgot about that. Julius was kind of clunky around him.
Right.
Also, that's a lot of length we're getting back. He can bother way more shots, deflect more shots. Karl Anthony Towns alongside OG is a little bit different. Julius Randle. The one thing about Julius Randle getting frustrated, he gets to the free throw line better than Cat. But Cat
I agree with that.
Cat hits the free throws.
See, my thing with Cat, bro, is like, I think what's amazing about your roster now is with Minnesota, he was the clear-cut second option, and I don't think that he could be a second option on a championship team. But with you, while he is the second option on a championship team, Mikal Bridges is not much worse as a basketball player than Cat. And he's a third option. And then you have OG and Josh Hart, to me, two of the best role players in the entire league.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, you have, to me, the biggest question mark for the Knicks is can Brunson be the guy on a championship winning team, and can Cat be that second guy? Because besides that, you've got everything else, in my opinion, that's good enough.
Well, we consider OG a role player.
Well, I don't think he's ever going to make an all-star team.
Well, forget an all-star. Like, I don't think Jaden McDaniels is just a role player. He's a stopper.
Yes, he is.
He's just a great role player. He's like, Robert Horry was considered a role player, and the guy has 7 championships and made tons of big shots.
I don't think Jaden McDaniels, the closest Robert Horry ever came to Jaden McDaniels when he was on Houston, looking like a poor man Scottie Pippen on a defensive end.
Wait. We're talking about Jaden McDaniels right now, like this?
Jaden McDaniels, Robert Horry never played defense like Jaden McDaniels. I don't
He's a
think
good
he's
defender though, Ori. No,
No, and
not
Robert Ory's generation, he was a good defender.
okay, but he wasn't Jaden McDaniels.
yeah, but I think he's a better 3-point shooter though.
Yeah,
No,
oh hell yeah, right now, yes. But what I'm saying is when I hear role play, I'm like, no, we rely on OG to be a stopper. That I don't think that's a DiVincenzo's a role player. Hart's a role player. They come in, we don't expect 20 rebounds a game from them, but all of a sudden they come in and have this burst. Then their average comes down when they have their normal games or less
you
than a
think
normal game.
you think because the way you're talking, you rely on someone to be a stopper. That's how Laker fans of that generation talk about Rick Fox.
And but he's not Kobe. He's not even Derek Fisher on the defensive end. I
Rick
think
Fox,
like, yeah, and Derek Fisher is definitely more of a role player because he's not even
he's one of the greatest role players.
right. Oh, 1,000%. But when I hear OG as a role player, nah, on the defensive end, Bridges, OG, Cat's Length, Mitchell Robinson, Bridges, and OG. They're the defensive makeup. They make up everything for Brunson. Brunson is not, he's sneaky, but that's not just a role player. That's not dispensable like that. For role players, they're making $45 million a year, $50 million a year. That ain't happening.
Now they are.
Yeah, I was gonna say the market's changed.
Now they
Well,
are.
well, no, hold on a second. That's comparable to a max deal. Role players do not get max deals. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I mean.
I think you got to change your perspective on that just a little bit.
Please
Like,
try.
Well, he is. I mean,
No.
he's one of the highest paid role players in the league. He's definitely considered one of the best role guys in the league. But I just think he's never going to be in an all-star conversation. I don't think.
So Herb Jones is a role player.
100%, and a very good one.
yes.
That's tough for
So-
me to accept, man. Like I get why Bam is not a role player because on the offensive end, he's a two-way player. OG is not quite a two-way player.
Bam is also a multiple time All-Star. He's a All NBA defender. He's
top
not
five,
just
top five at his position in the league.
position. Like, he's not just a role player.
Drew Holiday a role player?
See, he's one of the debatable ones. I don't think he is because he's been the All-Star twice, Team USA. He can create on the ball. But he kind of plays a role player's role with Boston. But we've seen him elevate to a star level player.
Has a lot of two-way performances. Derek White a role player?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Yes,
Is
100%.
Derek?
He has the potential to be one of the best role players in NBA history, though, if he can get another title.
Is Derek White better than OG?
I think so.
Wow.
I would not say so.
Okay.
I would say OG is a better player.
Is it fair to say he's proven more, though?
Is it fair to say? Say that again, Don.
That he's proven more, though, Derek White.
Derek White has proven more. I mean, that's easy. That's easier to say because I think he's been a part of winning. So I mean, proven more on the biggest stage, yes. But I think if you put OG, if we get there, I think OG performs as well, if not better.
Yeah, you could.
OG, I'm sorry. Who we just talking about before that? Before OG said Derek White. He's more reliable at this point. We expect him to play 70, 82 games. He got a crazy deal too. So that kind of knows my point because they paid. That's the thing about the Celtics. All them guys are getting paid damn near max deals. They kind of maxed out over there, and we're not. Right? Bridges is not he's not on a big contract. Brunson, we know, is not on a big contract. OG is on a big contract. Damn.
Cat's on a huge one.
Ridiculous. So is Cat a role player?
No, I don't think so.
No. Fair Fabian go with his stuff.
I don't think he's a role player. My thing with Cat is I have no confidence in him in the high levels because what he does is we see it. He falls in love with the three. I mean, the first 2 rounds last season, I thought he was really good. Then against Dallas, he just shot threes. And like there was one that game 4 that was like so important for them to win. Oh no, it was game 3. This dude was what, like 0 for 6 from 3 and like didn't get any easy buckets.
He just fell in love with and he was trying to shoot his way out of that.
Yeah, like to me with Minnesota, Ant had no other guy that could create shots. I think Randall, while he does shoot really bad shots in the playoffs, and he sometimes starts his move too far away from the basket, to me, his intentions offensively are better, are more aggressive. You know what I mean? So that might help them. But let me ask you guys this. Did Minnesota take themselves out of championship contention with this move tonight, or are they around the same level?
I would love to hear what Fabian has to say about this.
I think Chris Finch has to figure out that Julius Randle's game, because now you got basically Randle plays a lot of perimeter play. That drive and kick he has, it will help them. But with OKC there and DiVincenzo off the bench, it leads me more to believe that Flea is right about this might be another sign and trade deal with Randle. So I don't think I think it takes him out of the Western Conference Finals because OKC, Dallas are still intact, and the other three was 3 or 4. To me, Dom, I'm gonna do a video. Memphis has a sneaky chance to be top 4 in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I'm with you on that.
And I don't like Memphis, but they have a chance.
A lot of ifs, big ifs. But now this is a big if for Minnesota because that cohesion. At the end of the day, Cat does spread the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Randall's game, we know, is a question mark. That he's going to miss a lot of defensive assignments, and they need that. Cat wasn't on the perimeter either, but he does deflect shots. We talked about getting to passing lanes. He can alter shots as well. He has enough rim protection. And Randall, he's a better rebounder than Cat as of recent, and I don't even know about that.
I think he's a better rebounder than Cat.
That's my biggest concern, bro.
But hold on, but Flea, and I'll give it back to you. Cat just recently became a worse rebounder because for his career, he's a better rebounder than Randall.
Yes, and that's what I want to know. Are you going to come here and clean the glass? Are you going to come here and be aggressive on trying to get us second chance opportunities? Right? That's what we like to do. If you could do that, I'll be happy with you. He's a guy that was 25 and 12 for the first 5 years of his career.
And he was 50, 40, 90 last year, along with Nas Reed for like the first stretch of the season.
He was playing excellent ball before he got hurt.
Well, you got to answer. Don't dodge the question now, Flea. Are Minnesota or the Minnesota Timberwolves out of Western Conference Finals contention in your opinion?
Oh yes. I don't think they're Western Conference Finals contender this year. I think there's a lot of teams that have something to prove and are going to be way hungrier. They're gonna have to regroup and refigure this thing out. Trading Cat is gonna change some things for them. They'll be a good team, but it changes some things for them. A lot.
Even DiVincenzo adds some of the shooting you mentioned with Cat, not easier shots. He's athletic, defensive wise, off the bench.
He'll be great off the bench for them.
Yes. Who else they got off the bench?
I like him off the bench.
Nas Reed, who will definitely be in 6th man of the year conversations yet again.
But they lost
Anderson.
Kyle Anderson, right.
And it's just Conley running the point. And Dillingham, I know Dillingham is more. He's not a pure point. Conley's the pure point over there. So the lineups of
Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Mm-hmm. He's a good role player in this league.
The Lakers drafted him, traded him over there.
Who?
Or was it I think they drafted McDaniels. I looked that up. I think the Lakers drafted McDaniels.
Lakers drafted McDaniels. Yeah, that sounds about right. But they're good. They're still gonna be one of the best teams to me in the West. I don't think they're gonna take some crazy nosedive because of Randall, but I don't feel any better. I didn't feel like they made any upgrades though this offseason before they made this move. Now I feel maybe even a little bit worse, but I'm interested to see how Randall adapts. There's a lot of people doubting Randall right now. He's now got a real point to prove. And to be honest, he still has a very good chance to do big things.
We're going to see because he's trying to get paid. This is a contract year. Let's not forget that. He's trying to show and prove.
I gotta worst case scenario or a bad case scenario for Minnesota, or maybe a good problem when they're gonna have to probably trade Julius Randle or sign and trade him. Nas Reed, when they go to those lineups with Nas Reed in there to mix him in there with Ant-Man and DiVincenzo comes off the bench, you're gonna see Nas Reed and DiVincenzo lineups to spread the floor. They're gonna have to because we know Goldberg's gonna have to sit at some point. That's when I think you're gonna see maybe a Nas Reed, Julius Randle, DiVincenzo lineup. Maybe that makes sense for them.
It
But if
does make sense because
but
Reed
now
will spread the floor. Now Randall can go to the rim like a wrecking ball.
right and shit.
Not that bad. Now you mentioned that.
Yeah, but that's a good case
They'll be
scenario
okay.
for them.
They'll be okay.
That's beyond okay, bro. That's beyond okay. DiVincenzo coming off the bench and Nas Reed to open the floor up, similar to the Knicks, similar to what we have right now on the offensive end.
I think so many people though are so enamored with the 3-point shot and spacing, and I know that's so emphasized in today's game, and it's valid and important, but it just feels as though I think that people are just, writing the Wolves off so easy. They just got so much worse. They're idiots, and the Knicks are so genius for this. I don't know. I mean, I think the Knicks won this trade, but the Wolves are also getting a first-round pick.
Yeah,
and
We'll
see how it goes. I think when you mention it, yeah, Nas Reed and Randall together, and the spacing concerns are a lot better there. And Will Randall, like as I said, that imposing physicality is something, because to me, the Wolves are filled with a bunch of dogs, but it's mostly their perimeter defenders to me.
yeah.
Because Cat is considered soft because of all the stuff he does. And then Gobert, we know his reputation. He's a great shot blocker that intimidates guys to shoot, but no one actually fears him in any way. They all take shots at him. I've never seen a player with such a great resume so disrespected by his peers like Gobert. So, like
nobody
Randall,
respects him.
what'd you say?
I said nobody respects him.
It's crazy, right? And then Randall,
Who even comes second? Who even has this many accolades and we just go, nah, he wasn't it.
It's bigger than the fans. It's the players themselves constantly take shots.
Yeah, all of us.
Yeah.
We're all in unison. Like, yeah, he got
Yeah.
4 DPOYs, but we don't believe you.
We
They
need
sit you
more
out of
people.
playoff games. I don't even
I
know
don't
who's second
know.
place.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody that's that talked about like that. Because, like, for example, I don't know. A lot of people might dislike Draymond Green, but a lot of people respect his basketball ability and what he's accomplished. And they know how important he is for Golden State. And I think, how do you guys think the Nuggets are feeling about this?
Oh, and they didn't have enough to offer us for Julius Randle. But to be honest, Randle would have made a lot of sense over there. Because Joker with Randle, he would make
Why
the
would you
game
rather have Randall than Gordon?
than Aaron. You're not trading Aaron Gordon. That's what I'm saying. They didn't have enough to offer us. Maybe they would try to dump off the other kid that shoots 3-pointers because he's very streaky and MPJ, but we wouldn't have taken him.
Oh, hell no.
No, I don't mean the Nuggets. I don't mean the Nuggets for a trade. I mean, do they feel as though, because the Wolves are the team that beat them, and Cat did a good job on Jokic. Do you think that they feel like, oh, okay, we got them this year if we play them?
Damn, Cat did. That's when he showed out, and that's when we thought he went over the hump, and then he kind of regressed against Dallas.
Yeah,
for those final couple games. Yeah, shit. Because Randall's not doing that for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do you guys think Randall can be a body on Jokic? No, right? He's giving up 3 inches compared to Cat.
So that's the mismatch. That's the mismatch. That's a huge mismatch. No matter how deep you are with in Minnesota, Joker might give you 50 because he's cooking Goldberg, he's cooking all you guys, even Nas Reed.
Well, the thing is, though, the guys that bother Joker, and I'm using bother somewhat lightly, are those guys with the stronger, a little smaller than him, low center of gravity, get underneath him. Can Randall do that? I mean, you guys have watched him defend, but like we don't see guys defend the post anymore. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know how good of a post defender Randall is because I don't watch him every single night. You know what I mean?
Well, Randall ain't no cone, and Randall ain't no pushover. So I'm not saying he's the best post defender, but he'll provide whatever Cat was providing them on defense. He'll provide them in some.
Okay, then.
I think.
But not what Cat provided. I don't think he can. Not Cat. It's specifically with the Jokic Cat. matchup. Defensively, I don't think Randall provides that. And when he is a cone, it's usually off ball. He sucks on rotations. He spaces out. But if all he has to do is guard the big man, he knows where the big man's going, especially someone like Joker. Can he have the low center of gravity, like you put it? It's possible. But maybe a lot of Nas Reed's will be there to fill in for Cat, like we said. That might help them with Joker too, even though how did Nas Reed do against Joker?
Really well.
Shut his
Like,
ass down.
He did such a good job.
Shut his ass down.
Yeah,
They was taking turns jumping him.
Yeah.
So this ain't bad for Minnesota. They keep making moves too. Like again, even though we're kind of on the fence still with Rudy Gobert. They gave up 7 draft picks or whatever it was, but they conference finals.
No,
So-
that's a win now. I mean, they made it to the conference finals the second time in franchise history. You can't really say they lost that trade anymore.
Especially with 20 years ago with Garnett, what we saw, and it's like there's going to be a constant conversation of, hey, if Garnett was on the Spurs, if Garnett was actually on a good team, now we have a superstar over there in Minnesota with a front office that's trying, a coach that's trying, and they're trying to win. So maybe Western Conference Finals isn't the goal this year, and you leave the possibility out there because Randall's still an All NBA dude, right? But the goal is, like to Flea's point earlier, however this turns out, we got $40 million coming off the books this year, and then we work on that in the off season. I don't even know who's available in the off season, but somebody might be available for a trade. That's a better fit. I mean, who is the guy to replace Cat that they're looking for anyway?
Well, I'll tell you one thing, man. I wouldn't be surprised. It'll be maybe a little bit tougher after the Terance Mann thing, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Clippers try to inquire about Randall because we do lack a 4.
Ooh.
And we have lost a third scorer with Paul George being gone.
Who would you?
That ain't bad.
Who do you give up?
I mean,
a lot of money.
At that point, you wouldn't have to you would wait to trade him. I mean, you would trade him, or wouldn't you just wait to sign him in the off season?
And I don't like Randall in your lineup with Kawhi there.
Why
I don't
not?
like that lineup. I don't like
And the
Kawhi's
spacing isn't great with Randall and Zubats either. I mean,
add
that's
that.
the thing with Randall, right? Like, and that's the dilemma with today's NBA is they want the 4 to essentially just be like a big 3, a guy that can stretch the floor and stuff like that. What makes Aaron Gordon so good with Jokic is like Jokic can stretch the floor, and that high-low action with Jokic at the foul line or something, and he just lobs it up to Gordon in the dunker spot is like so lethal. But Randall's not a vertical threat like that, and like he's not. What do you guys think about Randall's like mid-range 18-footer? Because like back in the 2000s, you would want your 4 spacing the floor, but not that far out. But like a lot of them were like good post players and stuff, and like Randall is not a bad post player, but like he just seems out of control to me.
He's a better shooter than he's ever been, I think. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think he obviously could be a better shooter, but he's better than what he was. I don't like him settling for 18 footers, me personally.
Right.
I like him getting to the rim, getting downhill, making quick decisions. I don't like him just standing out there, jab stepping, massaging the ball, putting the ball on the floor. Like, get to something quickly. And he is that talented the way he can get to that. But I just think his decision making has to be a little quicker. Yeah. And if it is like that in Minnesota, that adds a touch to them that they didn't have.
Yeah, and he also just catches the ball so high. Like if you caught the ball close to the basket, you're already 1 or 2 dribbles away from the paint. You're making the defense collapse. Like I wonder how, because you saw Cat last season. They even ran some pick and rolls with Cat, the ball handling, and Gobert screening, and they got lobs and stuff. Like that was an interesting dynamic.
That is true.
Will Randall be able to give Gobert easy buckets? Like how are they going to complement each other offensively? That'll be interesting to see.
That's his flaw, though. Like no matter what he's great at, Randall is not consistent at it. He's not persistent at it. He's always just very, the emotions. That's what we always didn't like about him. It doesn't feel like he's lived in the moment. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he got necessarily better at shooting, Flea. I just think he got more selective last season.
Better shot select. I agree. You are hitting that right on. Yeah, absolutely.
But offensively, without Nas Reed there, and you have McDaniels, he's not a great three-point shooter. Ant-Man is starting to turn up. He's starting to get better at everything. We know this. And that mid-range game along with Randall, especially in this era, that's going to be tough not to crowd. Especially when we saw RJ Barrett along with Randall, even though Ant-Man is not a lefty, it's still, you got to operate. We saw Brunson and Randall operate last season, and it was dope. But that was especially after we got OG and they spread the floor. So they got to have Nas Reed out there a lot and DiVincenzo out there a lot, because they're a Randall, McDaniels, and Ant-Man lineup is and Gobert is very clunky. Very clunky.
Totally agree.
Are we moving on to your
I guess. I mean, how much longer do you guys want to stay on? It's pretty late over there.
Listen, Flea. I don't know what listen, Dom. I don't know what Big Flea's doing, but I'm out here, baby Bubba.
Well, it was a big news today in the Clipper world. Terance Mann.
Hold on, how dare I? I'm sorry, Dom. How dare I?
What?
For a sportsman, y'all.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, man. Terance Mann today, fan favorite, was re-signed. 3-year, $48 million. Was it what, $49 million, something like that? Or 40, I think it was 47. So about $16 million per year. Now, it was pretty, I don't want to say pretty controversial. I think most of the Clipper fans were happy about it because he's a fan favorite. He did have the curse breaker game that got us out of the second round for the first time ever. So, like, as fans, we're forever indebted to him. Like, I think anybody that's saying get over it or like that was one game, like, you don't understand what we went through before that. You don't understand what it was like being at school with the Laker fans talking about that stupid conference finals. So when a guy got us over the hump, that we were going to cherish him forever. Like, we were going to celebrate him. And not only that, Terance is the kind of guy and kind of player who gives everything he has every single game. While he's not flawless, like, he's not the type of guy that, to me, that should guard the best player on the other team. He's the guy that's one of the guys that should guard good players. And his last season, he had a really big slump from three in the beginning, in the first half of the season when we first got Harden, and he was losing confidence in his shot. I think partially too because we weren't playing fast enough for him to get easy baskets, and it was a lot of standstill in the corner. But as the year went on, he shot 44% from three in the calendar year of 2024. And in the playoffs, he did an amazing job on Luka Doncic, better than anybody did in any round, really, maybe outside of Boston. So my thing is this. I think Terance Mann's contract will be dictated on like if it was a good contract or not, if he's got any improvement to make. If he is maxed out, if this is who he is, then we overpaid a little bit. He's probably worth $9 to $12 million per year. But the thing is, his friend Bruce Brown got like $23 million a year, which people compare them because they're jack of all trades kind of players, this and that.
Give me Terance Mann over Bruce Brown.
What'd you say?
Give me Terance Mann over Bruce Brown.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Brown's a better shooter.
I don't know. I think Terance was a better shooter.
Really? Outside shooter?
I think Terance is a better shooter.
Terance is a better shooter. The only thing with Terance is sometimes he gets in his own head about his shot. Like, if you look at his shooting splits every year, his three-point percentage is very solid, but he treats himself like a 34% shooter or lower. And that's the problem with him. And once Terance shoots the three with confidence, then teams actually start closing out, and then he gets to do what he does well, which is attack closeouts, make a play, because he's not a creator, right? And I think a lot of people think that Terance is going to take some big leap or some breakout season where he's a creator. He's not. He doesn't have the wiggle in his game. He doesn't have the bag like that. He doesn't have a good enough left hand, not a good enough shooter off the bounce. He has good IQ and good passing ability, but you know how it goes. If teams are going under screens with you, if you're not garnering help, then you're not going to have the ability to make great passes all the time.
Dom, y'all had him playing point guard at one time. If that was like a year and a half ago, like, when was that?
Right before we traded for Russ or signed Russ. But the thing is, Kawhi and Paul wanted a real point guard, like a guy that was a high assist guy and all that. So my thing is this. I think Terance Mann could easily outplay $16 million a year. A guy that can defend, that can knock down threes, that is a good cutter, that does the little things and can connect with any lineup. And he's gotten better in the playoffs every single time.
Yo, do we want to get this guy out of here?
I
No,
don't care
Donald.
what he's saying. He clearly has a love affair with Julius Randle. So, like, he thinks you guys are big losers of the trade. I think he'll be proven wrong. I'm not even a Cat fan, but the
I
Knicks
just want to know.
fans,
We was trying to be nice to Donald, but if he's gonna be disrespectful to Dom, like
Donald is upset, guys.
we've
And
been
you have
trying to help Donald all evening.
let him.
Donald Trump, Donald Duck, Donald this guy, they're all the same family of clowns. But my thing is, Terance, take the actual analysis out of it, dude. I think he has a chance to he can outplay that contract. I think it's just a matter of him staying confident in his shot. This year, I think having Derek Jones and Nicholas Batum back and Chris Dunn is going to make Terance's job easier. He won't have as much pressure on him to just guard the elite players all the time. He can just guard someone. And now I think that solidifies his starting role because Ty Lue was talking about, we got to have our guys earn their starting roles. I think if you paid him this contract, he's starting. I also think Terance, he could have waited out this year, right? Had a great season and then got even more money in the open market. But the fact that he took this deal, I think it's very team friendly too, because you can trade the contract. It's not like there's no trade blocking. Like he could get traded, worst case scenario. And Jerry West literally said to all of us Clipper fans that every team calls about Terance. So I don't think it's going to be hard to move if it doesn't go well. But I hope it does. And like, this is my favorite player on the team. He literally cares so much. Like he tweeted today after he signed his contract, homegrown. And I think that matters. We always talk about it, Fabian. Who do you want to root for? Kawhi and James Harden, they have their fans, but they haven't gotten the stadium excited in the last couple of years. Clippers, at least. Westbrook did. Terance, he plays to the crowd. He plays with emotion, and he always plays hard. He's such an ambassador for everything we do. At the Intuit Dome, guess who was there introducing the building? Terance Mann. He's a franchise guy. He's been here since day one, and I want him to retire a Clipper, man. So I'm really ecstatic about it, dude. Like I couldn't be happier. Him and Zubats, the two longest tenured Clippers that everyone loves, that actually care about this organization, aren't just mercenaries there using LA in their home to have a place to play. These guys actually want to build something here, and it's evident from the way they play and talk. I'm so happy they've been extended. They both took, in my opinion, somewhat team-friendly deals, especially in Zoo's case. And to have them long-term, it doesn't matter if we rebuild, retool, or stay with this team. The fact that we're going to have them adds a level of likability to them. I need some players to actually fucking like. So I'm so happy we got Terance staying.
Oh, Flea, I was wrong, by the way, dead wrong. Man is like shoots 5 points better than than Bruce Brown at the 3-point line.
Yeah, it's just he needs to be more
better shooter.
Let it fly.
Shooter. Yo, Don, before I go, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
How long before y'all fire Tyronn Lue?
Wow. Why we fire him?
When is that gonna happen? What does he have to do to avoid being fired?
Why is the firing even a topic of conversation? His number one option is never healthy.
And I understand exactly what you're saying, Don, but you know how this NBA is. I'm asking you, what needs to happen so that Tyronn Lue doesn't lose his job?
Set
What
it up
has
even better,
to happen?
Dom.
If Kawhi stays healthy, he won't get fired because I think if Kawhi is healthy, the Clippers are going to be a pretty good team.
But so let me interject real quick. Even if Kawhi is unhealthy, Ty Lue signed up for that. At this point, right? Did he resign? Yeah, he resigned.
And let's say this too, Flea.
Yeah, Lue just got an extension.
Yeah, he did sign an extension, but how this goes. One thing about James Harden, he can carry an offense in the regular season. He can, James Harden's battling history this season. He's never missed the playoffs in his entire career.
Wait, whoa. Wait a second, Dom. Wait a second. Come on, we got the sound effects here. We gotta hit you. We have to. What the hell is going on tonight, Flea? A James Harden compliment from Don Dropper?
Yeah, he doesn't do that quite often.
But I'm not lying though. It's like, by the way, I feel all these comments about if Kawhi is injured. If Kawhi is injured, we're not going to be good. I think James Harden will still be able to get 35 to 40 wins just based on his offensive prowess. And then there's one wild card involved here that
was
no
mad
one's talking
sarcastic,
about.
bro. That was mad sarcastic.
No, I'm being dead serious. 35 to 40
Okay.
wins.
All right, but offensive prowess. That was a little.
I mean, he does. I'm being serious. But Kevin Porter Jr. is a very interesting topic because I don't know how much leeway he's going to be given.
Yeah,
But
how
he's
much
a
is he going to
talented
play?
player.
How much is he going to play?
That's a good question. We've been having that debate all over Clipper.
Yeah,
But here's the thing:
wondering.
if Kawhi is injured, he's going to play because we're going to need offense. Otherwise, it's just James Harden by himself. Bones is not going to be in the plans. He's going to get traded.
Damn,
Sadly,
I hate that
I like the guy.
I hate that for him.
I know, man. Kid can't catch a break.
Yeah, he can't find a home. I don't like that because he's a talented player,
He
but
is.
there is something must be missing in his game. His approach. I mean, when it's young guys, you always like the lazy way is to attribute it to not playing defense. But if he can't crack the lineup with Tyronn Lue, then part of it must be a defensive thing.
Yeah, either defensive thing or you said his approach. I mean,
Yeah,
is his attitude great behind the scenes? Because we saw him pout in Denver, and it was definitely not easy for him to go from you're the backup point guard for Westbrook to now you're not even in the rotation anymore when we got Harden. Like
yeah.
it's tough, man. It's a tough business. And speaking of tough business, man, Karl-Anthony Towns gave a lot to Minnesota. 9 years. He went through a lot there. For them to trade him like that out of the blue because they didn't want to have his contract, that's harsh, man. And they arguably got worse still.
I don't think it's out the blue when you draft, Ant-Man. You play second fiddle, no problem. At this point, you got to realize you're not a number one. You're just not. You guys just described him as a possible number two. He's gonna flip flop as a number two, number three with Bridges and Brunson. Some nights, Karl-Anthony Towns might look like a number one when he's on fire.
That's what some nights it may happen. We may
Which is-
see him go for stretches where we're going through him. It just that's a luxury.
And I don't think it was a surprise for him. I think there's CAA connections there. Tom, we just read an article how him and Tibbs kissed and made up a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at the Clippers don't have that. Like they have James Harden and Kawhi, but we expect a lot. Well, Kawhi just had surgery. Did you get to react to that? How do you feel about that?
I did on Locked On Clippers. Another year of they're talking about Kawhi is going to be limited in training camp. Like how long before we say enough's enough of this, dude? But the problem is that we're so stuck because of that ridiculous trade that Kawhi forced our hand to make for Paul George, where OKC has a choice this season whose pick they want, Houston's or ours this season. Yeah.
Hey, Don, real quick. Hold on. I'm sorry. Cut you off. Kawhi had surgery?
Not sure. Apparently a cleanup procedure on his knee done this summer. This came out 2 days ago.
So when is he going to be ready?
They said they're optimistic that he'll be fine, but he's not even confirmed to play on opening night right now. Could you imagine we open up that new building and he's not healthy for opening night? That would be so on brand.
That's disgusting. That's on brand, but it's disgusting at this point.
It's insane. And then you know what the worst part is, bro, is Lawrence Frank sat up there after he got pulled from the Olympics and said it was he was fine. The USA just pulled him as if he was okay. Clearly he was not okay. And again, you're feeding the fans bullshit. How much are they going to lie about this guy's injuries to us? I made a whole thread on Twitter. It has 50,000 impressions at this point. I posted it 2 days ago listing all the lies and dark clouds around Kawhi's injuries as a Clipper, and it's really insane, man. It's like
damn, Fabian,
you know how long I've been.
I didn't know that. You didn't tell. Damn, you didn't tell me
Shams
that.
Shams tweeted it.
I'm sorry. No, Flea expects me to give him all. I'm his Woj bomb.
Yeah, I just didn't see that. Yeah, damn. Yeah, I don't like that. That just pissed me off. You going into a new building. It's. I mean. Yeah, I want the dude to be healthy, but Lord have mercy, come on, man.
See, and that's the thing, Flea. If we try to trade him, we're obviously going to be worse because you're not going to get equal return, and we don't have our pick. OKC's going to swap it, so then we have to pick 28th or 29th because OKC will be a top 3 team this year.
1,000% they'll be a top 3 team this year.
So it's very hard, man. It's I hope this is the last season though, because we have no
Oh.
choice.
Last season of what?
Kawhi experience.
He just signed a 3-year deal, didn't he?
Yeah. This is year 1. Oh, by the way, I gotta give a shout out to this guy real quick. Shout out to the boy in blue, all the Birmingham fans, dude. You won't believe the way they treated me out there. It was unbelievable. Subscribe to this guy's channel. Again, I'm all about, and this applies to my boys right here with All Ball TV. I'm all about supporting local fans of their teams. You ride with your team, you make content on your team, your local team. That is what I gravitate towards because that's what we are, LA based. You guys are New York based. And, there's nothing better than hearing from the passionate fans, dude. Same with Birmingham over there. So, like, amazing, bro. I appreciate everybody for treating me well. And, yeah, dude.
Shout out to Boy in Blue.
I saw some of that blog out there, Dom.
Oh
I'm gonna get with you after. I'm gonna give you a call.
It was crazy, man.
Yeah.
Just amazing
Listen, man,
fans. Just amazing fans.
3 out of the 4 guys on a four sportsmen are single. They sound like they're trying to make some crazy plans in London or wherever the hell Dom was at.
Hey, no, well, in London, I just kind of blended in with in terms of like, there was a lot of American accents. When we went to Birmingham, though, because the second biggest city in the country, they were not used to hearing any American accents. So like we got stopped and talked to, and it was great. But what was amazing was my boy Davo, who makes vlogs, like very similar content to me, but he's much bigger than I am in terms of in his community for Birmingham. He's a Laker fan. So funny enough, we met on a channel, NPZ. Do you remember NPZ? It was non-players a lot.
Nah.
It was a Lakers history channel, and it has like, Flea would love it. It's like 15 to 40-minute videos of pick any Laker game from 1980 to 2012. And he's got it there with Chicken Stew broadcasting the game. He doesn't reveal the score, and he'll show the other team's points. So it's like, and fucking Adam Silver and the NBA took off so many of his videos, but a lot of them are still there, thankfully.
Oh, wow.
And he hasn't posted since.
I'm a little offended you say that. Oh, Flea would love it. Well, I think I wouldn't love it.
You would love it too, but I think Flea because Kobe's in there a lot. But like, see,
mind your business.
I love the sporting page. He says,
I get jealous.
NPZ is a great Laker channel, right? Shout out to Chick Hearn. So I'm just commenting.
Chick Hearn, when you hear, I was just watching some David Robinson highlights against the Lakers. Chick Hearn, this is why ESPN would be stupid to put Stephen A. Smith on Monday Night Football and everything. Like, just from a fan entertainment standpoint. Where are all the Chick Hearns, man? You understand? Jeff Van Gundy go. Chick Hearn sounds so crazy.
Legendary, bro.
Didn't he come up with the 18-footer or whatever it was?
He came up with a lot, but I mean, it's a gold mine. Like, no pun intended. It is a gold mine of Laker content. I mean, Magic, and then the Van Exel days and all that. So I kept seeing this guy commenting on the videos named Davo Birmingham, and I was like, okay, let me click on his page. And it was a bunch of vlogs for the English national team and for Birmingham City. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. He's like showcasing his fan base. It's really cool. So then I commented one day and I was like, I'm subscribed to both of you guys. And then NPZ was like, Dime, you got to go to Birmingham. You got to see Davo. He's a legend out there. Everybody knows him. And then Davo, I guess, just like started following me and started liking my content because this dude loves the Lakers. Like, he's a Kobe fan, Nick Van Exel. Like, he really knows basketball. And so we just kind of connected. I met him during the World Cup when he was there to support England. I was there to support Iran. And he came to game 1 of the Clippers series against Dallas this year. He was in my video. And then I went to Birmingham. And like, when I went up to people and said, I recognize you from Davo's videos, they treated me like they knew me for 10 years, like, buying me drinks. Like, it was crazy, bro. It was really crazy. Like, the beauties of the internet, met you, met Davo, all these people.
And that's our guy, the boy in blue, right? Davo?
No, that's this guy I met through me being at a game. And he's also another guy that makes content for the same team. Davo has been doing it for like 11 years or something. I don't know how long Boy in Blue's been doing it, but Davo has been doing it for like since 2011.
Boy in Blue, let us know, Boy in Blue.
Yeah. But
I'm very jealous. I was jealous when you guys signed Nicholas Batum.
Oh, yes.
$4 million. I know he's 36 years old. I get it, but I was way more impressed. Flea knows this with his defense on Brunson than Oubre could ever. Batum is just a smart one of the smart players, brings the ball up, hits clutch shots out of nowhere, bothersome. It would be nothing to have, been able to bring him off the bench. Obviously, the Knicks had their plan. We, La Cosa Rosa, we trust. But I'm happy for you guys to get him. But like, the Clippers are just in disarray for me. Like the Clippers and the Pelicans, even though the Clippers are older, the Pelicans have the same problem with. I don't think the talent matches.
It's not disarray, Fabian. What it is the Clippers know they can't win the championship. They just want to be competitive enough to fill up seats in a new stadium and give. My biggest question, bro, is what does Kawhi? Because Ty Lue's getting paid regardless. He's like, I'm down for the challenge. Like, I know how Ty is. What do Kawhi and Harden think about this team?
You think James Harden cares?
No, I don't. But see, he's like, I came here to win. I care all about winning. And like, to be honest, he was very professional last year. Like, he was a good Clipper last year. I can't lie. But I'm not convinced. Like, somebody who only wants to play a certain way is not a guy that I think is going to put championship over anything. He cannot play without the ball in his hands. He needs to have the ball. And everyone's like, oh, like, and everyone's like, I mean, James is going to have the ball so much this year. And I'm secretly going like, where's the wall I can bang my head against?
Secretly.
Yeah, not secretly. But the thing is, everybody thinks I have to like him because he's good at basketball. Like he's an all-time great. Like I have to like that. Like I don't have to like you just because you're good. And I know it's not going to win a championship. If he was going to take us to the conference finals, then I would be open to like getting over it. But it's just like everything I preach, man, like as a coach and like as a fan of the game is like ball movement. By the way, random question back to the Knicks. Do you think, given that this added talent, it will be less of a heliocentric approach from Brunson? Because like it was, Brunson led every category in terms of like ball dominance, like having the ball in his hands, dribbling, yeah, all that. But you needed him to. Do you think now it'll be a little bit more of a, spread offense?
It was going to be anyway, because I was going to say how you feel about James Harden is how I feel about Cat. In a way, I don't like his brand of basketball, settling for shots. But what he offers and what he does bring to the table is the spread offense, right? 5 and out, whatever it's going to be. And Bridges is going to take some pressure off of him. I don't think it stops Brunson from being like that. Like that's who he is. We can't run. That's why you're so pissed about James Harden, because that's who he is. But with Brunson, he's so, I don't want to say efficient. He's so persistent at getting to that paint post game, putting pressure on the defense as much as he can for a little guy. And with Cat, it does open the floor up. And Bridges, like you just said earlier, Bridges, Cat, and Brunson are going to alternate being the number one option at times on that offensive end. So I'm not worried about the heliocentric ball, because that's going back to the point of, rooting for the guys that you want to root for. James Harden, we don't like to root for. Cat, I don't really care to root for, but they make it so much easier by getting on the floor and just having an open court there now. And I want to root for Bridges, Brunson. Brunson's the guy. He's the guy for all this. So the heliocentric stuff, that's what's going to be interesting, and why I believe they're locked into the rookie kid, Tyler Kolek. Kolek looks like poor man's Brunson, bro. I don't know if we got to see any highlights of this guy. He looks crazy. Wow. He looks crazy. I think
I've heard you guys talk about him, but highlights is
highlights are tough. But he's a winner in college, a bunch of awards, bunch of accolades. He looks a lot like Brunson. And before he went to Marquette, he was at George Mason, so he worked his way up there. I think he has like all conference awards and everything. This kid is a winner. He's a winner. It's everything Jay Wright was telling Bob Myers about Brunson. Yo, I don't care what you say. This guy has a post-up game and he's a winner. What are you talking about? So with Tyler Kolek, remember, he's a pure point guard. Once you see his passing, you're going to be like, oh, nah, this guy's official. So I know he's a smaller guard alongside Brunson, but that can kind of take away and add what we need that Brunson doesn't give us. Because that's where Brunson was starting to falter. The Lakers got caught up to him when we lost OG and Randall. They saw we weren't as spread anymore on the offensive end, and we couldn't spread it out. And they would take advantage of Brunson. Now, we're going to start double teaming you, because it's hard for you to kick out of the double team once you cross half court, because you want to dribble the ball 9 times every time you touch the ball. So we know you're going to do that. You're going to try to do that when we double you, and you can't throw that, that pass that all the longer players can make. Tyler Kolek is probably going to be able to penetrate the defense and dump the ball off and engineer the offense better. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some lineups with especially when Brunson sits down, the Kolick, Bridges, Hart. If Cat's gonna be in there, we're
What
missing
about
the
Deuce?
shooting with DiVincenzo,
What about Deuce? Is he gonna play? I mean, he was awesome in the playoffs.
right? Deuce, he can shoot, but he's kind of streaky, and
Yeah, his
maybe because
defense, that's great.
his defense is amazing. Him out there with Bridges is gonna be tough. Another guy, he's 6'3", 6'4". Kolick is like 6'1". But to see, I'm gonna have to imagine Bridges is an Iron Man. He's gonna lead the second unit, and Kolick, I'm gonna have to believe, is coming off the bench to run the offense. And the Kolick, Deuce, Bridges lineup is gonna be amazing to watch and try to see develop. I'm excited about our young guys too. Jericho Sims has been pissing me off my whole, his whole career here because he has so much potential, but he's the same exact player as a freshman in Texas. Like, that's frustrating. And the total opposite can be said about Tyler Kolick, who can take away exactly what you just asked me. The heliocentric ball that Brunson is going to be. Is that considered heliocentric though?
I think. I mean, you ran everything through him. It was a bunch of. I mean, here's what I was going to ask before I leave. Is my last question: Is your number one source of offense is Brunson pick and roll? What's the second thing you're gonna go to? Because I know ours. Kawhi ISO number one, and then Harden pick and roll number two.
Bridges, they're gonna have to implement the same exact offenses that we saw with Mikal Bridges in Phoenix. He
But
used
Bridges
to.
didn't get plays draw. I mean, the only thing he had
Yes, he
done
did.
was what? Just
Yes, he did.
one little curl. That's it.
No, that on the free throw line extended. I'll send you a KOC video where he broke it down. That's
Really?
when Bridges took the leap, and then Phoenix went to the championship because they finally had a second guy. That's the
He had a
guy that
third guy. You mean? Because Chris Paul and Booker were the top two guys.
Chris Paul in third. Yeah, but Chris Paul, of course he can create, but we saw Mikal Bridges. Okay, so then even if he's the third option, we saw times where Bridges became the second option, and sometimes the first when he was leading the second unit. I'll send you the video that KOC made though. He
Okay.
broke that down. This is from like 3 years ago. I watched it in real time when he made it,
All
and I
right,
saw
I'm
how
interested to
he
watch
took
it.
a leap. And again, he was the point of attack. So that's gonna be, that's the tough part. I think that's what I expect. Because OG on the wing, when he puts the ball on the floor, I'm scared to death. He's just like fumbling the ball a lot. That pisses me off. And of course, come on, man, the pick and pop with Karl Anthony Towns.
That's. I mean, I think when I say Brunson pick and roll, I think because you have to think right when the beginning of the season, you're gonna probably play Cat at center. I'm not excited about that defensively, but you
No,
have
but
such good point of attack that hopefully it makes up for it.
and then OG's alongside him. I'm gonna look back at the Ayton and Bridges relationship in Phoenix. How did they work out? I gotta look back at that. But I know for a fact they definitely ran plays for Bridges.
No, I know they
That
ran plays for him. It's just more like I don't remember anything outside of just like that curl to the foul line where he caught the ball. But I'll watch it again. But anyway, Fabian, pleasure talking as usual. Want to give a shout out to my boy Golden Knight. Sent over a bunch of merch. I'm gonna start wearing it on the shows, and Chick Hearn is on one of them, so I'm just super excited about that.
sounds amazing. Golden Knight is in here.
No, but he sent me close, so I'm gonna shout him out.
Shout out to Golden Knight. He always shows love on Twitter and everything, man. Every little support that we get, especially when you have a big following, man. Like, he's big LA.
Yeah.
For us, Dom, we're on the East Coast, so we love having you on, so everybody sees your face. We love being on the West Coast, so everybody sees our face.
Yep.
And yeah, man. Shout out to Golden Knight. Shout out to everybody in the building tonight, man. Y'all made this very special. Even though I was, I came on very melancholy. But these comments, they help Donald go on bananas, and then Flea helping me out, and then you coming in here and being excited about it. It really helped me out. I'm gonna sleep on it and see what we can really do.
Yeah, dude, I think you guys should be excited. I know Cat's not the easiest guy to root for based on what you and I like as basketball fans, but all I know is this. I will never be as down bad about a player acquisition as James Harden for the rest of my life. And I know that I am only going up from here. Once this is over, I will be the most positive person in the world. But I just want to let you guys know, comment on the video, both on All Ball channel and on my channel. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to each other, you got to. One gives you we're talking about the two best cities in the country. You get all the basketball news from one side, and you get all the basketball news from the LA side on my channel. And obviously, we both channels talk about basketball as a whole as well. So subscribe to both All Ball TV, Dime Dropper channel, and even All Ball Fabian Perspective channel. And comment on the video what you think of the two big moves of the day. Terance Mann's extension, and of course, the even bigger move, Karl Anthony Towns trade to New York.
Read this real quick, Dom. The boy in blue answered the question from earlier. My dad was a cool dad, always done stuff with us as kids. When I was 11, my parents got divorced, hit me hard, bro. So having him there every day till weekend sucks. So this channel is for lost time. Wow. Shout out to you, boy in blue.
Amazing. Amazing, man. Oh, yeah. Give him a subscription as well, guys. Peace to everybody. Have a great weekend. And I mean, we're going to be definitely doing some Four Sportsmen season previews in the next couple of weeks, right?
I can't wait to cover Memphis. I'm terrified of them. That's my
good thing you play in the East.
Yo, man. Like, share, comment, subscribe. You know what this is. All Ball TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.